You are now listening to the Backseat Critics, the movie review podcast.
Welcome back to the Backseat Critics. My name's RJ.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa,
That's the
wait, wait,
level,
what?
that's the level of enthusiasm you're bringing us?
Yes, because I hated this movie.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did. This is not a good movie. It is a very painful movie.
That's good.
No, that's not good.
100% good.
You shouldn't need to endure physical endurance to watch the movie or
Really?
physical
Because,
pain.
because, I mean, it was your idea to watch all 9 of the Fast and Furious movies, right?
And you know what? There wasn't physical pain to my
On
body
your
or to
end.
my ears were fine throughout that movie. This movie, my ears were destroyed.
Ah, this movie,
Uh, has a high pitch every 10 seconds.
we'll talk about that later.
So, yes, that is my energy to this episode right now.
To the audience, RJ has a very limited understanding of sound engineering and unfortunately, especially an artistic capability, which was used in this movie,
There was
went
nothing
right over
artistic
his
about it.
five
It was
5'5" head.
it was all about hurting the audience.
Are you not into that?
No, I want to enjoy a movie, not have to struggle through it physically.
Oh
It's like
man,
trying to hold in a pee
I
while
can't
they're
wait for,
pouring water.
I cannot wait for my other picks.
No, if there's more of that sound into it, I'm turning it right off, and we're not gonna do another movie like that.
We're doing more of my picks. Stay tuned, audience.
No.
All right. Do you have any like news topics for today?
Yeah, actually, Disneyland jacked up its prices.
Really, by how
Eh,
much?
I'm not quite sure yet. I haven't looked into it, but I've heard that it's quite a bit actually. So not only did they jack up those prices, but they also jacked up the Disney or the Genie Plus prices as well.
What is Genie Plus?
That is kind of their fast pass system these days, where you can skip the line. Um, those sorts of things this time. So you can click like, okay, I want to be at this ride at this time, and you go through the fast pass line,
Okay, okay.
and then you can redeem it. Yes.
So I got the new prices.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not familiar with the tickets, I guess,
Oh,
but
well, let me pull. Talk to
so
me. What do you
so
got?
there's tier 0 tickets, which I guess are on days which are days with traditionally lowest attendance, are remaining at $104. If you go to tier 1 day instead, which I'm assuming is like a weekend or days around like holidays or events, it's going to cost you $119, which is $5 increase. But for tier 6, um, it's going up almost 20 bucks, 15, 20 bucks to $194 for its traditionally most crowded days. For multi-day passes, 2-day tickets, which were 285, are now going up to 310. 3-day tickets are going up 30 bucks to 390. 4-day tickets are going up 50 bucks to 445, and 5-day tickets are going up 65 bucks to 480.
Yeah, that sucks.
And park hoppers are being increased as well with what looks like $5 to $10 increases. Imagine Magic Key, which I'm not sure. Oh, it looks like it's the annual passes are going up a couple
Yep.
$100 at least.
Their goal is to try to push it. They want to push it to where they still make their money, but drive down the cost or drive down the the volume of people inside their parks.
Yeah.
That's
Do
what they're
you
trying to do. But
so what how it comes off as is do you remember in are you eating an apple?
Oh, I should move the mic around for a
Oh,
second.
okay. It
I'm not
sounded
eating an
like you just
apple.
bit a fat one off an apple. Um,
Nope, no apple.
is in Jurassic Park. There's the round table kind of discussion, and the lawyer's talking about how expensive it's going to be and how that will get all the rich families to come in. And then when they bring up, oh, it's supposed to be a family kind of anyone can go. He's like, sure, we'll have a coupon day. That's the same kind of energy that this kind of hike is bringing.
Yep. So instead of being able to save probably for Disneyland in 2 years, you're probably going to need to save like 4 years.
It's
But by then
insane.
they're going to raise the prices again.
Hmm. What, this is the second time in a couple of years that they've hiked up prices,
So definitely my method. Yep.
which is
Inflation in Disneyland and Bob Iger are not safe from it. You know, if Walt was around, tickets would probably be low.
100%. Yeah.
He'd make it so everybody. I'm pretty sure the Disneyland wouldn't be like as spectacular as it is to this day, but it'd been easier to get into.
Hmm. Mm. Didn't they change something somewhat recently with fast passes?
I think your volume, or we froze a little bit on this.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. I
Oh,
think you froze for a second. But what was that? You said fast passes?
didn't they change fast passes recently?
Yeah, so it's called Genie Plus. You
Shut
have
up.
one.
Hmm?
You say shout out.
No, sorry, I was telling Siri to shut up.
Oh, you get one fast pass per day per ride, and some rides you actually have to pay for to use it.
Oh,
So you actually
seriously?
have to pay. Yeah, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, you have to pay $25 or something like that
No kidding, 20
just to be
bucks.
able to. Yep. So you pay. When I went, I had to pay $25 for Genie Plus, plus an extra $25 for Rise of the Resistance.
That's insane.
So some rides actually have a cost to it. Most rides don't, but some rides do. So I would, I mean, depending on how much it's going up to, it was definitely worth it. But at the same note too, why do it again? Like why raise the prices on this?
Hmm. Well,
Same
I mean,
thing.
I think we know why.
Oh, greedy Bob Iger.
Yeah. What's interesting is, so I had kind of a theory that Bob Chopek was going to be kind of a fall guy, just kind of taking the hit for all the hikes and stuff. Way off. They're just continuing on the same route that they were. I guess he's just a fall guy for Disney Plus, but that's it.
Oh, it raised $5. The Genie Plus, so it's going up to
Mm,
$30 per day.
that's rough.
Yep.
That's
I mean,
rough.
it's kind of worth it, but it sucks that they're raising the prices again.
What other news topics do you got?
Those are it that they're raising prices. Them jerks.
Herdy jerk jerks.
No, they're no fun. They're making Disney no fun.
No.
The
So
poo poo parade.
we're going to dive into our 1 minute summary. We will spin that wheel and figure out what topics we'll be hitting up in this movie. And I don't think we even talked about what movie we're talking about, which is we're talking about Color Out of Space from 2019, directed by Richard Stanley, starring Nicolas Cage, Jolie Richardson, Elliot Knight, Madeline Arthur, Brendan Meyer. I'm not even pronounce that name, and Tommy Chong. It's worth noting that Richard Stanley previously worked on the 1996 Island of Dr. Moreau with who was in that? I think it was Val Kilmer and Marlon Brando. And this movie was produced by Elijah Wood.
That's why I didn't like it.
You don't like Elijah Wood? Wow,
No,
what did
I'm
the
just
dude do to
teasing.
you?
It's a joke.
Oh, sure.
He cried too much in Lord of the Rings.
Man,
He
that's
whined too
rough.
much. If he didn't want to destroy the ring, he shouldn't have cried, or he shouldn't have accepted the journey if he didn't want to cry as much.
What?
Dang, Elijah Wood. He could have just rode on the back of an eagle. He could have rode on the back of the eagle. He didn't need to cry as much. He could have dropped the
Folks,
ring and set him Mount Doom.
this is a Lord of the Rings fan revealing himself as someone who actually hasn't read the books.
No, I have not. I've watched the movies.
I'm sad.
Actually, I've read like 2 chapters of the first book, I think. That's it.
So a lot of Fortnites.
Yeah. No, otherwise I've just been kind of. I played the games. I like the games, so that's okay. Anyways, Elijah Wood, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Um, I don't think it was his Prism. I forget what his production company is. I don't think it was Prism that did this. Um, but yeah, yeah, he was producer on it. Do you want to dive into the 1 minute summary?
Yeah, I
Well,
could do that.
I want to get this wheel going.
All right. For the 1 minute summary, I am going to start
Throw in more enthusiasm
right
for me.
now.
And
Yes, because there's
go.
no enthusiasm in this movie.
There's a
So
ton of
we join the
enthusiasm.
small family. There's no enthusiasm. We join the small family in the woods of Arkham, where they are met by this alien crater that drives things off the wall, goes crazy. People are getting combined. Alpacas are getting combined. Nicolas Cage is going full Nicolas Cage here. We get this guy who also is checking out water, seeing these crazy things that are going on, that are going bad, and people are hearing voices or that are talking to them, including Tommy Chong, the real hero of this movie. At the end of it, they try to escape. They realize that they can't escape and that they're there forever, and the water is bad, and that's the end of this movie.
All right, so that was a 1 minute summary. It's worth pointing out this movie is actually based off of a 1927 H.P. Lovecraft book of the same name, and it's going to be Richard Stanley's first Lovecraft movie. His next one is that he's working on is Dunwich Horror, which I'm actually super thrilled about. But anyways, you ready to spin that wheel?
Yep, let's spin the wheel.
We got characters. Oh no, I forgot to record something for the characters. So here's something. Characters. Who are they? What are they doing? I don't know what. Should we
All right,
talk our
I'm
top three
gonna
characters?
steal this because
No,
my
my number one character
yes, my first character is Ezra.
is Ezra.
Yep, I did the 1 minute summary. Ezra is the best character in this movie, aka Tommy Chong. He's the real hero of this movie. He knew what was up. He said, "It's the aliens, man. They're in the floor. They're coming. What's happening up is down, down is up." Tommy
Dude's
Chong,
brain
Ezra.
melts.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, but you
literally,
know
his
what?
brain melts.
He was prepared for this and his dirty water. Ezra is the best character in this movie.
Was he?
Yes, by far.
Okay.
What's
All
your
right.
number one?
All right. So my number one, I'm going to go with Nick Cage as Nathan.
Because he goes full Nick Cage.
Dude goes full Nick Cage. And And this is it feels a little bit more warranted than some of his other freak out moments. Um, but yeah, no, I'm going Nick Cage. Dude, full Nick Cage is out. My favorite moment that he was Nick Caging out was when the car wouldn't start and he's sitting in it, just punching the inside of the car. I think he's like punching the roof of it. And you slowly in the background watch the antenna of the truck or whatever, like slowly raise up. That was nice. Nick Cage, my man.
Nah. All right, my number two character is going to be Ward Phillips, aka Elliot Knight, aka the Water Inspector, the only guy who doesn't drink the water.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely kind of the unsung hero of this movie too. Even though Tommy Chung was the real hero, Elliot Knight was kind of the Batman of this movie.
So in the novel, he's actually he's the narrator. Um, and you don't actually see really what happens. You just see kind of the aftermath throughout the year.
He's kind of the narrator throughout this. Like they played it off because he doesn't he start the narration in the beginning,
He
and
does,
then at
and
the end he
he finishes
narrates
off
at
at
the
the
end.
end. Yeah.
Yeah, so they
But
kind of allude
th
to that.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the book, like stuff that the family deals with where he's not there that was in the movie that wasn't in the book. It's like he comes back and they're like slowly just like losing it over the course of the year. Also, the book takes place over a year rather than the movie, which seems like a week.
Yeah, at most. It actually seemed like maybe 3 days, 3 to 4 days.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
Yeah, it moved fast. All right, who's your number two character?
My number two is going to be I'm going to go with Madeline Arthur as Lavinia, the daughter.
She played a good teenage daughter. I'll
Yeah,
give
she
her
did.
that.
Yep.
For this movie's
That's
a Wiccan off her rocker. Even the mom alludes to it, like you can't get through to her.
yeah. I think she played it well as that like angsty teen that's like into kind of witchcraft and spells and um I enjoyed the little nod to the Necronomicon that she's got holding around. So yeah. No, she's my number two.
My number three is gonna be Benny Gardner, Brendan Meyer, the little brother or older brother of the
Oh, the
home.
stoner guy, Ezra's friend.
Yep, he is my number three. He's just kind of like, what's happening with time? Where's all the time going?
Mm,
And he's like, why is the alpacas out? I just put them away. So he's my number three. I vibed with him a couple of times where I was just like, yeah, like you do something and all of a sudden it breaks again. You're
yep.
like, what the heck?
And the llamas or alpacas kept wandering out.
Yeah. And he goes, I just put them away. I vibed with that. I was like, yeah, I understand that. I feel that. I felt his pain.
Yeah. Can I do a double here? I'm going to do a double because I think it's a double.
You can have an honorable mention.
No, this is going to be a double.
Okay, fine. Double it up.
So my third favorite character is
Are you
going
gonna
to.
combine the mom and the son?
That's 100% where I'm going. Because
Okay.
the mom and the son, I didn't care for until they fused about halfway through the movie into that one blob monster from basically, I don't know, Stan Winston's brain. Um, and then she turns into a little spider thing at the end with it's Julian Hillard as Jack, the youngest son, and then Jolie Richardson as Teresa Gardner, the mom. There's a point where they get kind of zapped and fused into one big blob thing. And towards the end of the movie, she turns into kind of a weird humanoid looking spider thing with her son's head on her back. I like it. That's um that's a nice little kind of small, weird, the thing meets kind of Lovecraft kind of vibe that I was getting. So nice to see.
Meh,
Meh?
meh,
What do you mean meh?
meh.
Explain.
I looked at it and I went, meh. My ears hurt. I'm looking at this weird thing now. This is great. Meh.
Nah, you're wrong. You're wrong. I actually really appreciated that they opted to do like puppetry, even though it was for like a split second here and there. It was nice to see like actual puppets and props being used.
I just sat there and like, how is this working? I was confused.
I cannot wait for my next pick.
Yeah,
Anyways,
no. Anyways,
I've
yes,
done
continue.
three. I've done
Yes, yeah,
three. You've done
we've
three.
we're moving on.
We're moving on. Spinning that wheel. Oh, snap. We got scenes.
Scenes.
We're off to talk about scenes,
What's happening?
the magical wizards of scenes.
I'm so confused.
All right. Well, I went first last time, so you go for it.
So my favorite scene is going to be probably when the son is Zach, I think his name was sitting there outside the well, like whistling something, and the
Jack.
daughter, yeah, oh sorry, Jack.
Jack.
Um, the daughter asks, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm talking to them, the people in the well." Legitimately kind of eerie scene. Liked it. That's my number one.
And that's when the ears start hurting. Because that's when the sound starts coming in and you're like, please stop.
Do you have just like a bad sound bar or something? I had this up pretty loud and I had zero problems with it.
Oh no, that ring, that was a high pitched tone that you hear over and over again, and
I heard
that
it.
just oh
I
yeah,
heard it.
and that hurts.
It didn't bother me.
That's great, but that it definitely bothered me. I
All
still
right.
got my teenage hearing.
That's so it's not matured yet?
Nope. Remember that ringtone that you could get back in the day that people past like 30 something couldn't hear, 35?
Yeah.
Yep. There's that like this ringtone. That's what I was hearing.
The whole
I
movie.
was like,
Yeah,
ooh,
no,
this hurts.
I gotcha.
Yeah, painful. All
Disagree.
right. My number one scene is going to be the very beginning, actually, where they're going through the woods and Mr. Ward Phillips starts to narrate kind of gives us a nice setting of what is occurring, kind of
Yeah.
in Arkham. I kind of enjoyed at first, I was like, okay, I can get down with this. In the beginning of the movie, I'm like, okay. And I enjoyed the setting everything up
Gotcha.
with the wood. I enjoyed the wood, the pictures of the wood too, and the kind of the light popping through here and there, and
Oh,
how he
at the very
expl
beginning when he's like walking through the woods.
he's not walking through it. They're just showing like shots of this wood or
Mm.
this wooded area, and it's kind of cool. The shots were well done in my opinion. Like it was a good woodsy area. Like
It was
the
nice that
film
they
was
didn't
really good there, I think.
I was nice to see like no CGI set extensions. Um,
Yeah,
which is nice to see. It just kind of makes the movie feel a bit smaller and a little bit more real.
I
By
give
the
this
way,
movie
what is
that.
that color out of
The
space?
it was like a purple mix with some blue,
Okay.
some green in there,
Okay.
if you wanted to know. Purple, greenish, bluish.
I mean, I asked for that reason, so yeah.
Yep. All right, your number two scene.
My number two scene is going to be the bit where she, at the very end, is standing by the well and has that weird um, psychedelic trip, and you start seeing that planet.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
that was nice. Um, as someone who's a longtime H.P. Lovecraft fan, not of the dude. I'm glad the dude's dead, but it was nice to see like some other stuff that he's kind of written about, kind of alluded to here. And yeah, it was nice. Brings me the warm fuzzies.
My number 2 scene is going to be when we meet Ezra, Tommy Chong's character. They're all just kind of chilling or whatever. Tommy Chong obviously is a stoner in this movie per usual. He's repping his brand per usual.
Mm-hmm.
Boss, like, hey, Tommy Chong's in this movie. You got my attention. Little Cheech
100%.
and Chong. So he grabbed my attention again, per usual, as Tommy Chong does. And yeah, I liked his character
Okay.
and that scene. There's a little shack area, all the cameras up.
Dude has got his off the grid. I love that they allude to him as a squatter, but like he's clearly well established and not too far from them.
And he's welcome basically too.
Yeah.
Like they're like, yeah, whatever.
Is he really just a
Yeah, when I saw
squatter
his
at
little
that
shack,
point?
yeah, I mean he's squatting on their property, but it's not like a unwelcome squatter. It's still a squatter.
Mm.
Squatter's a squatter.
I was gonna say, I think if they're welcome, isn't that just a guest?
I don't think they necessarily are welcoming him though. They're just not shooing him away. It's kind of like
I get what you're saying. I'm still going with
it's
guest.
like it's like if you're hanging out with a group of friends, and then group of friends invites somebody that you're like, I don't really know you, but I'll put up with you, sort of thing. Kind of
Yeah,
like that.
no, I gotcha.
That's what I would put it as.
All right. Ready for my number two?
No, we're on number 3. You went first.
Oh yeah, I did. Oh, we're moving fast here. So my number three is going to be the attic bit where the mom is going full spider and she's just popping her head up and down and just, I don't know what she's doing to the daughter. She's just like staring at her from like an inch away. And then the cop busts in, she sticks up her head. She's got like a 2 foot neck and pale white face. It's goofy. I love it. It's 100% a hand puppet that they had there.
Disturbing.
I loved it. No, it was goofy.
Goofily disturbing.
All right, what's your
Oh,
number three?
I like the end.
The narration at the end.
Yeah. I just enjoyed Ward's narration. It was like he was actually writing it down, trying to describe it. Like each time he narrated, I was like, okay, I hear you. Like it's like you're reading a book.
I mean, that
It,
is how the book was written too. Was
I
like
mean,
it was like entries by him, like trying to make sense of what he had just seen.
so same thing here. Like the beginning of it had like that book feel to it. Like he was like you're reading a book, and then at the end, like I mean, then the movie plays out. Then at the end, it sounds like somebody just trying to describe something to you again and
Yeah.
closing it while wrapping it up. So, and then he's just sitting there where the house used to be and where all this used to be, and there's nothing. There's not even trees or anything. Like there's trees around it, but there's just this black area.
Mm-hmm. Or it's just black and white. Yeah. That was a cool shot.
So the end is my number 3.
Okay. We're gonna go into final thoughts.
Oh, we're just doing 2 tonight,
I did my number three.
but we're doing two subjects tonight.
Oh, yeah, no. You ready for that last topic?
All right, let's hit that last topic.
So I had added what moments to this, but I also added mutations,
Oh gosh.
and that's what we got. So we're going to be talking about our top 3 mutations in this movie.
Are there even 3 mutations in this movie?
We could talk about what moments if you want.
Hey, you know what? We can just give as many mutations as we can in this movie.
Let's go for it. What am I looking at? This is more disturbing than what we just saw.
I don't know. My top mutation's gonna be all the alpacas together, though. Like
Oh
a
man.
melted pot with the hairless alpaca.
And the dog mixed in. The one dog.
No, the dog wasn't mixed in.
Yeah, it was.
The dog went down the well.
No, he thought he saw the dog down there. That wasn't the dog though. Because when the
Oh no, he went missing. He went missing with the fight.
yeah, no, he went missing. But then when they go into the barn the first time, the 2 kids, and they see the alpaca lump, one of the heads that they show is the head of the dog, and it's still growling and stuff.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's like a quick shot, but it's 100% the dog.
Hmm. Well, that's my favorite mutation right there. What's the alpacas?
My favorite mutation is going to be the mom / the son, spider monster at the very end. Because every movie needs a spider monster.
Okay.
50 First Dates or whatever that movie is called with Adam Sandler. 100% better with a spider monster. Pride and Prejudice,
I don't know.
better with the spider monster.
Lion King 2,
Rocky?
better with the spider monster. The Mighty Ducks,
The Mighty Ducks, better with the spider monster.
Lilo and Stitch,
Better with the spider monster.
The Muppets,
Wild Wild West, better with the spider
Kid?
monster. Schindler's
Something
List,
Wicked This Way Comes,
The Bridge to Terabithia,
The Story of Andrew's Life.
my story of my life would be better with the spider monster. That's what I'm saying. Every movie would be better with a spider monster. Could you
I disagree
imagine the
though.
Mr. Bean movie with a spider monster in it?
Mr. Bean would defeat that with ease.
Oh,
That guy's
easily.
like a superhero. Not all heroes wear capes.
I don't think Hercules could stand up against Mr. Bean.
Nope. He is the strongest hero that nobody knows about. Oh, Paddington had just attacked me.
Oh,
Big Bear needs to stay
speaking
away.
of movies that would be better with a spider monster,
Paddington.
Paddington and Paddington 2. All right,
Better with an English spider monster.
Excuse me, sir. Do you mind if I crouch up here in this corner and spray my web everywhere?
The only thing that'd be great, or it makes it even better, Stuart Little comes in and swoops in to save the day.
How disappointing must it be to be the other kids waiting there at the orphanage? Have we talked about this?
We have talked about this.
And you see this family come in and they're going to adopt somebody and they adopt a rat. And you're like, oh,
You know, I'm
Cool.
surprised that one of those kids didn't just like step on him. They had, you know what? Stuart Little had street cred to not be stepped on.
right?
Because I mean, if I'd been like, oh no, I'm getting adopted first, son. Whoop.
I think that the movie, was it Meet the Robinsons, was originally based off of that and Stuart Little. Wrong
see it
kid
a little
gets
bit.
adopted. All right. What's your number 2?
My number two.
Hold on. I have a feeling it's going to be with Ezra.
Kinda, actually. I was gonna say the cat.
The cat's actually a good pick. The cat's
Yeah.
a solid pick.
Is hairless.
Yeah. Oh, that one. You're not even doing the one in the truck bed with the raccoons and the deer and the birds and stuff in it.
No, I mean eventually I guess I could see it get it, but the one where like Nicolas Cage like swerves out of the way and was like, "What is that?"
He's like
Kind of like
He's like Jack Skellington, but just in the woods and outside of Arkham,
basic.
Massachusetts, just being like, "What is this? What is that? What is this? I'm not my
I mean,
dad."
with everything going on, yeah. But yeah, I choose that cat, the hairless cat.
Hairless cats.
All right, what's your number three or number two? Number two.
Yeah, my number two. My number two is going to be the tree monster at the very end that just completely obliterates the cop. There's a part where Ward and the sheriff are running through the woods from Ezra's cabin where we just saw Ezra's brain melt, and they're running back to the house, and the cop just gets yanked up in the background, and Ward hears the bang of the shotgun go off as cops flying and looks up just to see a tree kind of envelop the cop.
Yeah, ish.
Ish, yeah. A lot of branch poking. So alternative end.
My number three is going to be Ezra.
Dude doesn't mutate.
Kinda gets his brain melted out, sort of looking thing.
Yeah, a little bit, but his eyes change color.
Doesn't his eyes like get sucked out basically? Like I thought he had no eyes in there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. For some reason I thought you were saying Ward.
No,
My
Ezra.
brain. Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, his eyes are just gone and his brain just
Basically.
gets
I'm-
sucked into itself. And honestly, that's how I want to go.
Ouch.
No, I'm kidding. I actually kind of like that scene, how they set it up to be almost like it's going to be a jump scare, and then they don't.
It's an interesting scene when they walk in and he's got like the video playing of how everything's like happening, or the audio of how everything's happening.
Yep.
So it's definitely an interesting scene to hear.
Yeah. All right. My number three is going to be those tomatoes. Do you see the size of those juicy tomatoes?
Those are huge. And he's like, "Oh, peaches too."
They're like the size of his head.
You know,
And he's just like biting into them like the King of Gondor. Like, come on, dude.
I've seen tomatoes like that actually, like that size before.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, no, working in a produce department, I've seen tomatoes come in that size. And I'm like, "Oh, tomatoes. Okay."
That's when you just bite into it.
Yep.
Also, who just bites into a tomato like a apple?
Apparently Nicolas Cage when he's going full Nicolas Cage.
He's not even full Nicolas Cage at that point.
All right. That should lead us into the final thoughts now, I believe.
Yeah, we got final thoughts. Why don't you go first?
I did not like this movie. If you did not catch at the beginning of this episode, sure, it started off okay, started kind of interesting, but the high pitch just ruined it for me. Just the way things started to play out. As a person that have seen multiple scary movies, those sorts of things, I was kind of like, eh.
Do you really have to qualify that as a person who's seen multiple scary movies?
Yeah,
We
because
do a movie review podcast.
I know, but
kind of
you're
hope that
you're one that hasn't seen as many scary movies.
I haven't seen the cheap jump scary ones.
Exactly, and that's what this kind of falls under. I'm like, meh. But some of those cheap jump scary ones do it better. for the jump scares. At least they get you like a little jump. This one, no little jump out of it.
Mm.
So I was like, meh. When I watched it, I could see how people liked it though. I could see how people like the colors and stuff in it were kind of fun. But to me, it was just kind of a meh movie, and it's definitely not for kids.
Definitely not for kids. Do not show this to your kids. Do not show this to your kids.
Yeah, that they should not. No kids. No kids for this one.
On a scale for kids movies, this is a 0.
This is a negative. They're in the negatives.
On a scale for a movie, for me, 8 to 9.
Whoa, we just don't hand out nines that easily. Wow.
I'm gonna say 8.5.
8.5. Wow.
This is pretty high up there for me. Would you give it?
I'd probably give it more of a 4.
Okay, that's
It
fair.
just wasn't my speed.
I hate jump scare horror movies. I think jump scares are a cheap tactic used. Yes, they get you, but it's not like enjoyable on a movie that's supposed to scare you. I kind of like the more slower paced horror stuff like Alien and The Thing where it's that kind of unease that you get.
Hereditary.
Yeah. Yeah. Midsommar, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, The Witch. Um, so yeah, it's that slower unease where the viewer's forced into that position of feeling uncomfortable with the people. I kind of enjoy that.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I've seen movies done very well that way. I just didn't like this one.
I absolutely love that there's like again no CGI set extensions. I felt like Nicolas Cage's freak out was fun. Um, I loved the props and the puppets. Loved the puppets in this. Big gripe for me is I absolutely love like H.P. Lovecraft's book and was so happy to see this come out. In the book, it takes place a little bit over like the course of a year. And this it's like 3 days, and that was kind of disappointing to see it kind of go at that pace. It would have been nicer to see it go a bit slower. And then some of the dialogue is just a bit weird. But it's got this nice like kind of B movie with some heart to it kind of vibe, which I enjoy.
What's that movie, Turbo Kid or something like that?
Turbo Kid. You talking about Turbo Man?
No,
I'm
there's a
getting,
movie.
I'm getting my son that action figure for Christmas.
You have a son. Did that happen?
I'm a
No,
man. I'm a man of many sons.
there's a B movie that came out as Turbo Kid. In the film, the way that was filmed was kind of the way that this was filmed, but I like Turbo Kid more than I like this movie.
Okay. I never saw a Turbo Kid. Um,
Cool. Something for you to watch.
but yeah, no, so that like I agree with you. That was a loud, high-pitched, annoying sound, but I think that kind of plays into making the audience member like uncomfortable and put them at unease with the rest of the movie. Like it just
I
kind of
think
pulls you in
they
that way.
overplayed it. They could have played it better or more tastefully. There's no taste to it, I felt like.
I
They could have
will agree somewhat to that, but I think they played it pretty well. It's better than, don't hate me for this, but was it 2016, 2017? It Chapter 1. I haven't seen Chapter 2 yet. It Chapter 1 relied way too much on jump scares. If they would have done a slower tension build kind of thing with those, that would have been fun, but it 100% relied on jump scares, which was disappointing to see. So it's nice to see kind of a contrast there.
Well, also there's only so much that they can actually put on a TV screen. or film compared to the book before nobody watches it or it gets canceled compared to the book.
Oh, for that, yeah. Yeah. But I mean, yeah. We're also talking about H.P. Lovecraft adaptation, which his stuff is notoriously difficult and revolting to adapt. So, yeah. But yeah, this was kind of outside of our realm. But next week we will be back. We're talking Halloween Town next week.
Halloween Town.
So get ready for a lot of interviews, a lot of video, a lot of content.
Coming soon.
All right. And with that, if you want to find us, you can find us at the Backseat Critics. You should definitely not subscribe, not like us. You should tell all of your friends that the Backseat Critics are horrible, horrible people.
And they're boring. It's so easy to fall asleep to. You know, we hear. What's it? I cannot think of the word right now. Please cut this out while I'm trying to figure out the word.
Oh,
This is the only cut you need to make.
This is
the only
staying in.
Insomnia. We cure insomnia. You listen to us, we put you to sleep. You get these weird dreams about creatures combining in Tommy
If you weren't
Chong.
asleep before, that moment where Arjo was trying to think of the word insomnia put you to sleep.
I'm fighting a cold. Leave me alone.
You know what? I'm keeping it all in.
That's okay, because I'm fighting a cold.
Excuses.
Okay. You try to be sick, news.
I have been.
I know. And here we are.
All right. And with that, we out.
Yeah, we're out.